The initial indicator of true love in a man is, never forgetting someone doesn't always equate to loving them. Sometimes, it's merely a deep sense of sympathy or, worse, contempt for that person. When a person is ruled by an idea, they find it in everything, as Victor Hugo believed. He wishes for my head, the heart he has already had in his hands. It did not satisfy him. The body? Well, what is the body? That's not a man's real goal at all. But my head, thoughts, and ability to influence, evoke emotions, feed on them, use them to work. That's it, adds Martha Ketro, an Israeli writer. It's common for that to be the case, but do you really need it? Out of sight, out of mind, as the saying goes. What a shame that this regulation doesn't apply in practice. Even when someone is not in front of us and we may not even know them, we still think about them. And the more we try to banish negative thoughts about someone, the more difficult it becomes. One day, Khoja Nasreddin received a visit from a cruel, repulsive man named Jaffa who was well known and despised across the entire neighborhood. From the wise man he demanded, "Make me beautiful. Everyone praises you as a brilliant man who is capable of everything. I'll pay you well if you comply with my request. If not, take caution. You will regret having been born." Nasreddin agreed to assist him although knowing it was impossible. To pray with them for the gift of beauty to their relative, he nonetheless invited the moneylender and his family to his house at the prearranged hour. But there is one thing you must do. Imagine a white monkey writhing in front of you. It is long-tailed, has a horrible face, and golden fangs. Can you envision it? Set it aside at this time. We're going to start praying together right now, and you must never think of the white monkey again, or Jaffa will always look ugly and have a hunchback. Let's begin now. Jaffa was covered with a blanket by Nasreddin, who then instructed him to circle the fire while reciting the prayers himself and ordering everyone else to do the same. However, Jaffa repeatedly paused, seeking, like everyone else, to clear his mind of the images of the white monkey, as the family continued to muddle words. Khoja Nasreddin put on a show of rage. He put a stop to the ceremony by saying, "It won't work. One of you thinks about a white monkey all the time." The moneylender and his relatives debated for a long time to figure out who was thinking about the white monkey and caused things to go wrong when he turned around and went. The lesson of this fable is straightforward. Just because you allow someone to exist in your mind doesn't mean you need or care about them. Maybe he's just a stubborn white monkey that has to be exterminated. Do nothing with these thoughts, though, if they are not dangerous to your well-being. In order to rationally reason everything and accept the outcome, it is sometimes vital for a person to think about it rather than temporarily escape their own views about someone. Typically, the most vivid emotions-induced thoughts progressively dim, fade, and then vanish, like thin clouds in a blue sky. If the clouds form a storm, the person experiences severe depression and feels powerless in the face of the circumstance. It is even worse. What time does this occur? First and foremost, when breaking up for good or permanently, as well as following a heated argument when you stop speaking to one another but still see one another and engage in some sort of interaction. Alternatively, if someone has harmed you deeply or if you have fallen in love with someone who then rejected you. All of these are very good reasons to think about someone all the time. Or maybe it's time to remember Margaret Mitchell, who said in the words of Scarlett O'Hara, "There's so much to think about. Why fill your head with things you can't bring back and think of things you can change?" Doesn't that make sense? And here is what Friedrich Nietzsche said on this subject: it's only the thoughts, and not external circumstances, that make a person unhappy or happy. By controlling one's thoughts, they control happiness. All of us can grasp this, yet we fail to notice that the most crucial detail is hidden, like a trap. If we are thinking about someone all the time, it suggests that this provides us with some sort of pleasure that makes up for the suffering in our souls. Do you still give her any thought? A little in the morning, a bit in the afternoon, a little in the evening, and a little in the night. It occurs frequently. That passage is taken from Meeting Again, a book by French author Marc Levy. What if it applies to you as well? What if licensed psychologists are unable to assist you and you are unable to deal with yourself? The only healer left to be awaited is time, who is harsh and ruthless in its rightness. A person has lost your interest if they are constantly on your mind. Yet, do you require it?